All right, welcome to Cinemigos. I'm Mike.
It's Ryan.
Oh, and I'm Jason.
And if that music didn't give it away, this week's episode is on Stranger Things.
Right, and that, you know, that music gives you like a little blast, and you feel like you got to blow in a cartridge or something. You know, some Contra.
It's everybody's new favorite '80s flashback.
Oh man,
It is. It is.
It's on the rise. Everybody's gonna have fucking, you know, solid stone bangs here pretty soon.
They say history repeats itself, man. I would not be surprised if some
Swishy
of this
pants and
fashion
fucking
starts
starter
rolling
jackets.
through.
I'm waiting. I just can't wait to get back to the '90s. Then
I know, right?
man.
I mean, that was. Oh, dude, that's gonna be awesome.
Well, we get Kanan and Kel back, right?
I'll be 45 years old wearing them Chenkos.
Oh, they're on the way back. I
man.
saw it.
I know it.
Then you get a little hover around.
Yeah.
Look like you're floating.
I still want a pair of the auto lacers.
You
be
can buy
honest.
them.
I know.
You can
but
buy them
they're
now, but
so
they're like
fucking
25 grand.
Oh, the Marty
Yeah.
McFlys?
Yeah.
Oh
they're
man,
so expensive.
was that
I don't
actually a
want those.
thing? People actually made those?
Yeah,
Did they function right?
yeah.
Yeah,
No
they have
shit.
them
But they're
now.
seriously like
They're super
$40,000
expensive.
or something stupid.
Science.
Yeah. Anyway, that was 2015 that he was wearing those shoes. So we're a couple years past that.
yeah.
Right. We should be, you know,
Right on
Right.
schedule almost.
we should just be able to like step in the goo and walk outside now or something.
All right, so Stranger Things, a little background. They're created by the Duffer Brothers, Matt and Ross. Got their start by writing and directing the 2015 horror film Hidden, and writing episodes for the Fox television show Wayward Pines.
Nice.
Both of which I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah, Wayward Pines is actually a really good series. There, it was. It's got that cliche apocalypse kind of trend that seems to be going on, where the whole world goes down. One guy knows it's going to happen, and he prepares for it, kind of like a Noah's Ark in a way. And you know, of course, you know the guy that creates salvation for everybody loses his shit. You know, this is basically what happens in Wayward Pines. I really did like that series. It was actually very interesting, and I think you guys should watch it.
Yeah, I know some people who've watched it. I've never seen it. Have you
Hidden,
ever
I don't
seen-
know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I
with
don't know
either
him.
of those
I'll have to
things.
look into this Wayward Pines though.
I do
Yeah.
know that they were looking to actually direct the new It. They were trying to. They
I
were
did.
Really?
Yeah, I
They
read
were-
that too.
Yeah, they were turned down.
I wonder
for it.
why.
And we'll get to that later.
Oh,
But
okay.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
know.
yeah.
Well, I don't know why they were turned down, but
Oh.
there were some other little things I was going to talk about that's related to that. But
I know
we'll
a couple
wait for that.
things of why they didn't do it, but I mean,
Well, we can wait. We
yeah.
can wait for that for later. So,
teaser.
um,
Spoiler alert, by the way, everybody.
yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
big spoiler here.
Yeah, if you haven't finished season 2 of Stranger Things, please turn this off.
Or
Yeah,
one,
no, yeah,
or one.
or
You might be
one.
somebody like me that stays behind for a while just so they can hurry up and binge watch because I finished season 2 in a day.
Yeah.
I messaged you guys in the morning and messaged you at 11 o'clock? No, 3 o'clock that night
Right.
or that morning. The next day.
Oh, I'm all done now.
Oh,
All
done. I binge a little bit, guys. I'm sorry. I stay seasons behind for that purpose.
Well, wherever you are, if you are not finished with everything that is available to you at this time, you should turn this off, finish it up, come back and hear what we have to say about it.
Absolutely.
At the beep.
Because you're likely to learn some stuff you don't want to know right now. So,
Yep. Starting now.
so some of the cast, I tried to just. There's a lot of different people in the show, so I kind of got it down to, parents and kids. Starting with Winona Ryder as Joyce Byers. Most people know who Winona Ryder is.
Yeah.
But if you don't, she was in Beetlejuice. She was in Edward Scissorhands, and she was in another movie named Heathers. Have you guys ever seen that one? That's a little. Her and goodness God, I can't
Is
remember.
that the still frame one?
No, it's they're in like high school. Her and another guy, and they start like murdering all her friends.
No.
I can't remember who is in it. I'm about to have to look it up. Somebody's
No.
in it with her.
She's so old school.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
excuse me. It's a movie from the '80s too.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like
was it
Christian Slater or something.
Sounds
Okay.
like if
with
it was in
Yeah.
the 80s, he was in it.
somebody completely
Right.
off the
Late
wall?
80s,
yeah.
early 90s,
Yeah.
he was all over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder.
And then we have David Harbour as sheriff. Is he sheriff? Yeah, he's sheriff.
Yeah, he's
right?
a sheriff.
Mhm.
Jim Hopper. He was in Suicide Squad. He was in Brokeback Mountain,
Okay. Yeah.
and he was recently cast as the new Hellboy.
Oh, that's gonna
I
be
heard
awesome.
about that. Yeah.
I
that's-
like him. He's like my personal favorite, non-child
He's got that.
character.
Right.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
got
his
that.
development is awesome in
Yeah.
the show. Really, it is.
He's got the voice for it too.
Yeah.
I got a really touching little thing I read about him, about his character. We'll get to after our
okay.
main conversation.
Okay, I'll get my tissues.
share. Finn Wolfhard as Mike Wheeler.
Yep.
Everybody just recently seen
Love him.
Right.
Love
In
him.
the It movie, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody, and luckily it was pushed back a year. It was supposed to be released in 2016, I heard now, and luckily it was pushed back to 2017, which allowed him to be in both projects. Otherwise, he might not have been in Stranger Things because he was already attached to.
Oh no, he had to be
the
Mike.
whole time.
There's
His
no
accountant,
other Mike.
whole time his accountant was like, "Let me see the money. Let me see the money."
Yeah, we will figure this out.
Yeah, we'll figure this out right now.
And then
Love the kid. Really.
we have Millie Bobby Brown plays 11/Jane Ives. That we learned is her name in season 2.
You know what's funny about that is I
Or at the end,
I saw a
Jane
childhood
Hopper.
picture of me, and I looked just like 11. I was like, oh my god.
Jason
She
kind
got
of
bigger ears.
looks like season 111 right now.
Yeah, a little
That
bit.
head.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was mauling a cheeseburger right now or something. Yeah.
So she wasn't in any movies. She was in some TV roles, shows like Intruders, NCIS, and an episode of Modern Family. But outside of Stranger Things, she's filming the new Godzilla movie that's going to be released in 2019 right now.
Awesome.
She's
Well,
gonna
I'll
be
say
in
this. I'll give her a heads up though. I thought she does a very well,
As
acting
an
job is something.
as an actress, like her facial emotions are on point.
Yeah,
like
you can read her.
She's really good.
Yeah.
Super good.
She definitely comes off as like the other, like
Right.
that she's not familiar with any of this.
and
or
for
what's
not
going on.
for not speaking well, or you know what I mean, she communicates well with
Season
her.
1, 41 lines dialogue in the whole first season.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
and she communicates a lot
Right.
without them words.
Right. See, it's it's not as bad as Terminator back in the day when he was
Well,
trying to smile and shit. Like she kind of definitely gave you a feeling of she's not acting.
Yeah, it gave you that, like, the fourth barrier was still there. You know what I mean? You were actually seeing it.
Okay, the next kid, who plays Dustin. I'm gonna murder this kid's name. I have no idea how do you say that.
Let me get a shot at it.
All right, go. It's here. I'll just spell it for you. So you don't have to get it. It's G-A. I think I can get his last name. I'm just not sure about the first. It's Gaten. Gaten
Good
or
thing.
Gatton.
G-A-T-A-N.
Matatarazzo.
Somebody correct us.
Matatarazzo?
Yeah, right. Or Gaten. Matatarazzo.
Yeah, we'll say Gaten.
He
We'll go with
plays-
Gaten.
Just go with the accent where you think it comes from, and then whichever one sounds the best. The guitar.
Gaten.
Oh wow,
There you go. See,
We're gonna get letters.
He'd eat some manicotti.
You guys are assholes.
I really liked him. His character was awesome.
Yeah, Dustin. Yeah.
Favorite. He reminds me of my kids.
The only thing he was really in, two things. He wasn't really in. He was in a role. He was in one episode of The Blacklist.
That's a
before
curly
this.
hair kid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the teeth was missing. in
Yeah.
the
Very
first
good job, by the way, buddy.
And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
you know, the disease that he says he has in the first season.
Something dysplasia.
Yeah, it's a huge name. I'm not going to
Oh,
try and
yeah.
butcher that one. He really has that in real life. That's
And
why
really-
he didn't have.
He
the
did a good
teeth,
job
yeah.
saying it for not having any
Well,
front
yeah,
teeth,
it's because
you know what I mean?
he has it in real life, so he's probably been saying it for a long time. But yeah, he
Especially
really
without-
has that disorder.
Right.
Luckily, not a severe case of it.
Yeah.
It has to do with formation of your collarbones and skull.
Is that like
muscles?
why his neck looks
Yeah,
a little
right.
like?
Yeah, and that's why his teeth didn't grow in right.
Ah, that's weird. But I mean,
That is interesting.
That's cool to know.
Yeah.
That's especially. I don't know that.
But he was the very first person cast in the show,
I believe it.
Really?
He
Yeah.
kind of it shows in a way. He kind of
especially after being like on one episode of a TV show once, and then you get this job, right? Then you have Caleb McLaughlin, who plays Lucas Sinclair. He was in Blue Bloods. He played in the New Edition story. I didn't find anything that he's got coming up other than just being in Stranger Things.
Stranger
now,
Things.
But,
No, I liked him. He's a good character. He's the I forget what do they call him in the party? What's his character?
oh, jeez, I should have wrote this
I
down.
know, yeah, dude. All the D&D
That's kind of an
references.
important. Yeah, no,
It
that's kind of an
is.
important part, and I don't think any of us put it down.
Here, I'm just gonna look all these up real fast, just so we have.
I felt like he had a
for
much
reference.
bigger part in season 2
Oh,
than
yeah,
he
I-
did the first one. A much bigger part of the story, which was good. I really liked his part of the story a lot. I'm glad they added him back in. His little sister was an asshole, but she was good. She was good at being
She
an
was
asshole.
good at being an asshole. It's true.
Okay, we have after that Natalia Dyer as Nancy Wheeler. She was in the Hannah Montana movie.
oh boy.
She was in a movie called Till Dark. I've never heard of. And she's got 2 movies coming out next year called Mountain Rest and Tuscaloosa.
And speaking of retainers, she always looked like that one that would be wearing one. Yeah.
She probably has had one. Yeah.
I mean, this is just. She looks older than like what she's
Yeah.
cast as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She looks like like Ellen Page. You know, when Ellen Page gets cast as like teenagers and really
even though
like,
she's like 41.
right?
Yeah. Well, that's the same as
Yeah.
it's. I felt the same way about what's his Will's older brother.
Oh,
Jonathan.
yeah.
Yeah, like I was kind of like, what is wrong with him? You know what I mean? Like while you're watching it, you're kind of looking at his face, and you're like, you don't really belong. In the first season, he looked great, but in the second one, he just looks like
stress. It's a killer.
I don't know, man. It was just
he's next on my list. Charlie Heaton is his real name.
Charlie Heaton,
Jonathan Byers. He was in a movie called Marrowbone.
That was good.
And he's going to be playing Cannonball next year in the New Mutants movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's Blob's son, right?
That's more your area of expertise than mine.
I believe so. The Blob.
I'll let you go ahead and take that.
No, that's awesome that they're getting in. It's going to be a series, though, right? It's not going to be an actual film.
I think it's a movie.
Is it going to be a film?
Is a movie. I'm not sure.
I keep hearing rumors about the new Logan movie too, so that might play into it a little bit.
I don't know. I have to search. I have to look it up. It just said New Mutants 2018. I didn't really see whether.
I'm sorry. Yeah, wrong film, but let's not get into the mutants, man. You know I'll keep going.
We have Sadie Sink as Max or Mad Max. I didn't really see. She hasn't been in too many things. A movie called Chuck and the Glass Castle.
Bravo.
Those are two different movies. It wasn't called Chuck and the
Glass Castle.
Yeah, it was Chuck, the Glass Castle.
That sounds a little X-rated if you ask me. You know, Chuck in the Glass Castle. You know.
Oh god.
You have
it's a new 50 Shades.
Noah,
episode 3 coming through.
You have Noah Schnapp as Will Byers. He was mainly a voice actor before this, most notably as he voiced Charlie Brown in the Peanuts movie. And he had a voice of a character in the Angry Birds movie.
Huh. Yeah. I mean,
respect the first, don't care about the second.
He's a kid, though. He probably had a hell of a time being an Angry Bird.
No doubt. Yeah,
he's probably got the top score right now. He's Mad Max. You
know. Matthew Modine as Martin Brenner, also a really, really famous actor compared to the kids, obviously. Just a few highlights. Dark Knight Rises, 47 Meters Down. And my personal favorite Matthew Modine movie, Full Metal Jacket. From
oh, yeah. Absolutely.
This is my rifle, goddammit.
This is my gun.
That's right. This was for fighting, and this is for fun.
Oh, man.
Another movie. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah. On the list.
Joe Keery as Steve Harrington, who is in the Charnel House and Molly's Game.
Molly's Game?
Something I play with my dog.
We should be watching these, though, like, to get to know him a little bit better.
Right. And Samwise Gamgee, or Sean Astin.
Samwise.
As Bob Newby, who was in Lord of the Rings.
The noob.
Rudy. And although it was his first movie, probably most famously from The Goonies.
The Goonies.
Down here. No, I loved it, though, man. It was the worst part about watching that movie, though, was I did not want him in the film. But just it was any time that it got into like, you know, the scores started getting a little more fast paced, and like he was starting to, I felt like they were handing him the football again, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
Rudy, here you go, Rudy. Here's the keys to the basement.
Like,
go turn the power on.
Yeah, like I was just, come on, man. I know it's fucking Rudy, but Jesus.
So
Christ.
by the weird chance that you were someone who's listening to this who has not seen any of this, we're gonna ruin it. But just to give you a little idea. We're not going to ruin it. It'll still be a good experience. You should watch it. Listen to this because I know I'm not like a lot of people. I don't care if it's spoiled for me. I still want to see it if it's good.
We wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't good.
Well, yeah, I have my issues.
That's a lie.
I have my issues. We're gonna get into my issues. I know Jason has issues. God. I don't know if you have any. Maybe you just love...
just a couple on character play and synopsis that they've taken from other films.
We're essentially just gonna try to rip this thing apart then.
Well, I mean,
while we love on it so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you just look through it. I understand that they put a bunch of Easter eggs in the film just because it's give reference to other films, but they also took a lot of dialogue and stuff from other films, and it was just
there's almost innumerable to go through and trying to find like every hidden little
it's 2 seasons
homage to everything that they've done it. But season 1, the show starts in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana, in 1983. The first season is basically about the disappearance of Will Byers and the search for him by family, friends, and local authorities. But the small town uncovers a mystery involving secret experiments, terrifying supernatural forces, and one strange little girl.
You know, that movie, the series sucked me in the end of episode 1. Like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not really into it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, little kids on their bikes, and it seems to be a fad that's going on right now. And I'm sure, you know, like we said earlier, history repeats itself. But anyway, long story short, it's just like I couldn't watch it, and it wasn't holding my attention. And then all of a sudden, when he's riding his bike home and jumps off his bike, runs through the woods, gets to the house, and starts loading up his 22 whenever the door unlocks itself, kind of, which it seems to be a growing trend in the film as well.
Yep.
But when he gets into the room and all of a sudden that thing just pops up behind him and fucking sucks him away, and I'm just like, all right, I got to rewind this and rewatch everything. You know what I mean? Because like I wasn't really paying attention to it, and then all of a sudden it was just like very interesting.
Right. And season 2 basically picks up where season 1 left off, where it says when terrifying supernatural forces from the upside down once again begin to affect Hawkins, everyone realizes that Will's disappearance was only the beginning of their problems.
Oh yeah, that's for the second season.
Yeah. I was very worried about the second season though, because I was just like, how do you keep that going?
Well, I mean, they show you. I mean, they give you the big giant hangry shadow monster. Like, oh, that's what's happening next.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what the hell that is. Right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They just sucked me in. Like, oh my god.
Looked like some episode of like Death Note or something with like on crack, or not Death Note. What the hell was that one Akira movie?
Akira?
Akira was called
Akira.
Akira.
Was a movie. That's a.
It was an
movie.
animated series, yeah, whatever. But
it's Miyamoto, right?
Yeah.
The big fucking whatever. Like whenever, like sometimes when I'm looking at some of his art, I see a lot of anime in it. In a way, you know what I mean? Because that's not America.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not.
I got you. I see what you're saying.
No white guys drawing a fucking giant monster that's consuming the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't even come up with Godzilla, guys. Like, you know what I mean?
He
like,
looked like a big, dark, shadowy Pokemon to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he did kind of. Yeah.
I was just like, I was master.
Or xenophobe or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of wish it would have been more.
Defined.
Yes.
Rather than just like smoke. Just like a thought,
from a distance.
smoke thought.
From a distance, it looked That's the really weird thing about it was it looked more defined from a distance.
Yeah.
And as you got closer, it lost definition, which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. I don't know. I thought it was. It was scary as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like I imagine being that kid standing there, whenever, especially whenever it starts fucking consuming him and shit, and like. Yeah, no, I'd shit my pants too.
him.
That's what I mean. From a distance, it looked to have form and shape and intelligence and purpose.
Yeah.
And then as you got closer to it, it just looked like black fog.
I mean,
they
you know,
lost that.
And that might kind of be the purpose. And you think about it, it is like a hive mind. And from a distance, it seems like a good thing. But as you closer get to it, you're like, nah, fuck this. This is pretty dumb.
Well, I don't know though. We can't get into the end yet, just because we're at the beginning. But.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Let's take it back too. We'll take it back to season 1.
Oh yeah.
Let's just start from the beginning.
Like I said, whenever I first watched it, man, I didn't want to give it a chance because it didn't look. I don't know. It wasn't appealing. You know what I mean? Like, we're watching all these sheriffs go driving around in the same uniforms they use in Jaws. You know, stupid shit like that, and you know, the frantic mother getting ready to go to work with the weird brother that, you know, like I said, he's weird. I don't know if he's like meant to look weird or, you know, just be that. I don't. It's just something about him doesn't fit.
He's really into the Clash, man.
Yeah, right. And you know, like I said, and then it just hits you at episode 2. It's like everything starts to come together. You know what I mean? Elle comes out of the woods. You know, and that's another thing I was very disappointed about when they wanted to call her Elle. I was actually thinking of the letter L is how you spell her name, and it's actually E-L. And I'm like, what is she, Spanish
short,
now?
No,
you
short
know,
for 11.
No, I get that.
But since it's short for 11, you have to go EL because 11
or
is spelled
you could
with
even
an E.
be ELE, and it would still be L.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
He's right.
With her like concentration camp tattoo and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my
but
God.
it's
What's up, Magneto?
yeah, I mean basically, yeah.
Oh God.
But, you know,
She's more Jean Grey.
It really did pull you in though once it started to get into
I got a little funny.
the livelihood.
I can't wait to get to all the
children.
the trivia and facts stuff. You killed it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
It happens on talking, man.
Interjection, man. We were talking about
Interject it up.
their roles in the game.
Yeah.
Mike was, of course, the DM, which kind of fits, right? Will the Wise was the wizard, right? Lucas was the knight.
Oh, okay.
Right? Fits his character.
Oh, it
well.
does, especially with him saving the damsel in distress. Even
does,
so much
right?
more in the second
See?
season.
It all plays. And Dustin was, of course, the dwarf.
Huh.
The dwarf. The little
because he
fuck up
fucking
that
looks
gets shit
funny.
done.
That's rude.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. He's got fucking something dysplasia.
I'm not even gonna Google it because I'll never be able to say it right.
We couldn't even say a dude's name.
Well, yeah, I couldn't say his name or the disease he has. A
think
disorder, I guess. It's not really. It's a genetic disorder. He's like missing some genes
No,
or something.
that's another thing that I love about the film is it also kept like a good D&D role and made D&D real in a way. You know, like made it. Made it seem interesting to somebody like me that really didn't give a shit about it. You know, and
Well, I think
like it made me go to the point where like
saying.
I'm Lucas. I'm not black. I'm just Lucas. You know what I mean?
Like. I think I see you like you were saying in the first episode. You're like, oh, I've seen all this before, but then when you realize, like, that's why they're doing it because they know you've seen it all before.
Yeah, and that's what they're tapping into. Yep.
And once you realize that's the purpose, you're like, oh, I'm down now. You know what I mean? You're not doing it because you couldn't think of anything else. You're doing it because you loved that time. And
right. Which also led to like their courage and stuff because like they've lived that game. Like, you know, it's just like you and I. Like, we played video games all the time, and, like, we become part of the game.
I mean, I played D&D.
Yeah, I played it a long time.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying they...
Unfortunately, I haven't played it in
like
years.
Like you said, Lucas is the knight. You know, it's just... That's the role that he plays throughout the game and stuff. And it's like, you know, in the beginning when he rolled, and he was like, you could throw a fireball or you can throw a protection spell.
And, for Will.
And Will grew a pair and fucking said, fuck that fireball. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, later on they said, well, maybe he threw the fireball because he wanted to protect the team instead of, you know, protecting himself.
Right.
You know, and it's like that mini school of something pulls you in and makes you part of the team. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. That's where it dragged me in, and I was like, I got to rewatch all this shit.
Dude, it was like the third episode for me.
Yeah?
It was like, I had to try and watch the first and the second.
Really?
It did. I had to because it was like, oh, the bad monster got the kid. Didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? And that's
when
the third episode.
Trees part in the first episode, man, and you can see that figure walking towards the house. That's what got me in there, man.
Nah, man, like, that didn't get me. That's every Boogeyman movie. You know what I mean? I didn't want to see what I had already seen, and then the third episode come along, and that's when I realized it's the nostalgia funnel. I'm on the nostalgia train. Go back, start it over. Let's roll, man.
Right. Yeah, because at first it feels like I'm watching something unoriginal.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was
but
judging
like,
it as that.
Yeah, but like you're like, oh no,
tiny things,
we're gonna do all of this and make a new story out of it.
Right. Like a big weird lemony snippets of everything you loved from back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I'm not familiar with lemony snickets. I'm just gonna agree with that statement.
It's all right. We all do it.
Yeah, that fucking sounded good.
It was a good movie
I don't know
with
what
Jim
the fuck
Carrey.
this guy's saying.
I mean, I know the movie. I've never seen.
Yeah.
No, it's just like I said, man. It's the little things in this film that make you keep watching it. Like you know, you're like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. You don't go to fucking bed.
No.
You're like, one more episode. You just still get one more episode. When it says, "Are you still watching?" you get pissed at it because it didn't just keep playing. Like you're slowing me down, motherfucker.
Right.
You should have already skipped the intro.
Some people love that music so much that like they don't skip the music played at the beginning of this podcast. They don't skip it. Like they'll sit there and watch it.
Yeah, it gets you into
yeah.
it. It gets your brain set in that era. You know, because I mean, what were we playing back then? Same shit they were. Dig Dug, fucking. You know, I mean, I didn't play it until I was a little bit older, but
yeah, it's to say we are a little out of the age range to be as super nostalgic as like our parents could be about that.
Right. Like they had the Sega out whenever we were born, but you know.
I mean, I was born then, but when the movie takes when the show takes place, I was a year old for the first season.
I mean, 84, right?
I still had
83
my
for the first season, 84 for the second season. So I was 2 when the second season takes place. So I mean, these kids are 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
So they're a little younger than my parents.
Well, look, you're the youngest now. No.
Where are we at on our list here?
Oh, this is just time to
we're
talk.
done. Oh, we're done on our list. All right, cool.
Yeah, for now.
Are we still on season? We're still talking about season 1.
Yeah, but that was a fun fact that I did look up. Those are the same. That was the same Bronco. Those are the same uniforms, police uniforms and stuff that were actually used in Jaws.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That reminds
same
me
badge,
of
all that.
That little Oh Hello Broadway show that they have on Netflix, where they just amalgamate all kinds of old Broadway props and just make a show about nothing with old. It's hilarious.
That sounds familiar.
If you watch The League, it's got Ruxpin from The League.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
I haven't seen a lot of League people lately.
Branching out. It's a fun show.
Well,
So
it was good.
I had like this big giant ET feel towards the mid half.
Oh yeah,
First season.
Yeah, mid half first season. I was like, well, what's up, ET? How we doing?
Pink dress and a blonde wig. Come on.
Yeah, I have that as part of the. So we'll just talk about that now since you brought it up. But yeah, her pink dress and blonde wig are seriously similar to ET's disguise.
Well, plus telekinesis and
also
hiding her in the basement and
You're talking about all my stuff. No,
I'm sorry, man.
That's all right.
That's good. That's the stuff.
No. You're right. Yeah, there is
Battleship.
a lot. There's certainly a lot of.
There's so much.
ET in there.
That's what I meant earlier.
Firestarter. Did you ever see Firestarter?
No.
Stephen King. Oh my goodness, guys! It's not really that great of a movie, but I just remember why I watched it a lot when I was a kid. I've read the book. It's a Stephen King story.
Okay.
It's got Drew Barrymore in it when she's like 7 years old.
You know, I've heard of it. I've never seen it, but I know I've heard
there's
of it
a lot of little hints to that.
You could have like a 450-page book, and just at the end of it says "The End," written by Stephen King, and I'd probably still fucking read the.
Well, like it's a little girl. Her power. She's like, she's not telekinetic. She's like pyrokinetic. Like she can cause fires.
Cool.
And the government's after her dad, however, like he can make people believe whatever, almost like it's in. Sorry, the cat is getting attacked by my dog. So,
I will fight you both.
Kind of like we'll talk about it more detail later. But number 8, how she can make people see what they want them to see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Drew Barrymore. That's exactly what like Drew
Very
Barrymore's dad did in that movie. Like. In Firestarter, like he didn't have the money to pay for a cab. All he had was $1, and he like would touch his head, and he was like, "That's plenty to pay for it." And
right.
The guy saw like $100 bill instead of a $1, but his nose bled every time he used his power.
There's another little take, but
and they were also being chased by government forces who wanted to do experiments on Drew Barrymore,
the power company.
Yeah, it's called. What do they call it in? Not just Firestarter, but it's a organization that is talked about a lot in multiple Stephen King stories.
I
can't
couldn't tell
remember
you.
what they're
Some
called.
Black Flag motherfuckers. I don't know.
Yeah, basically, it's like the Shop. That's what
Oh,
they're called,
okay.
the Shop. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's another fun thing with another Stephen King's instance. The beginning when the dude was at the guard tower, he was reading Cujo.
Right.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Nice little hint there.
Stephen King, you are tearing it up right now, man. They're fucking dropping you everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's so much he did. It just
You're leaving the
wrote
other writers in the
so
dust.
He just wrote so much stuff over the years. It's ridiculous.
Which was the one that took him like 7 years to write or some shit like that?
I mean, it took him like 35 years to finish the Dark Tower series.
Is that what it was? That might have been it. Yeah.
Altogether, I mean, there's like 8 or 9 books in that series.
I'm sitting here like writing my own story in a comic book, and like I'm 4 or 5 years in right now, and I'm like thinking about him, and I'm just like,
he knocks out 1,300 pages.
yeah,
of
that
no
dude.
pictures.
He would have been
Right.
done. He would have like started it like from birth to fucking death, and then reincarnation. By the time I got to where I'm at right now.
Okay. He's written comic books.
What's that?
Stephen King has written comic books. Yeah.
Go on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude just got a freaking hard on.
Yeah,
I'd have to Google
I got a
it.
boner on my backside.
Let me Google what he's written.
Yeah, let's Google this. That's a
All
fun
right,
fact.
So while you're doing that,
Yeah. Go ahead.
lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
there.
But like you said about you were talking with the other girl, number 8 in this one.
That's what it was.
That's awesome because like in the first one, like I said, like I was losing interest in the show. I was really losing. Like I was getting ready to. It was going to be one of those ones like take off my list. I'm going to call Netflix like I'm complaining because you have all these fucking shows on here that I'm so tired of fucking seeing. I didn't want to watch them last month. What makes you think I want to watch them this month? Anyway, long story short, I was feeling the same way about this season because, like I said before, I couldn't believe that they had another season because it was just like the first one felt like it was good, one and done, you know, and then. They had this season, and whenever they showed number 8, I was like, okay, yeah.
It definitely opens up.
Oh, man, how'd she blow up that bridge? She did it with her fucking mind.
The bridge didn't even blow up. That's what happened.
She made that one doctor or the one cop do it, and I was just like, that.
Just one dude.
You sucked me back in, fuckers. Good job, brothers.
Right. Okay, here it is. He's got a whole series. It's a novelist sinks teeth into graphic storytelling with a series called American Vampire.
Oh, of course. Fucking vampire story.
Right.
Are they covered in fucking pixie dust too?
Although he has written some comics based on Stand and other series, the American Vampire series will be the first original comic book writing that King has done.
I'll check it out. I mean, his name alone on it.
Yeah, it'll probably make it pretty good.
Yeah.
But number 8, that's from season 2. So anything else about season 1?
Okay.
Well, I mean, to think that there wasn't anything before 11, you had to know there were some other numbers out there. But number 8's
absolutely.
But number 8's the one that they introduced in the second
Here's
season.
the thing.
My first question was like, how many survived?
Right. How many are there
only
now?
2 that we know of.
Right.
And
but here's something, and maybe they show this, and maybe I just missed it, or maybe it's a combination of the two. Was she predisposed to these powers, and the experiments they were doing on her increased them, or were her powers natural, and they were just experimenting on her to figure out what she could do?
See, I think,
or did they do experiments on her that changed her in such a way that gave her?
that's a very good question, because I think it's probably one of two scenarios. Beings, especially in the second season, you got to meet her mother, and
Right.
her mother kind of has the gift.
Mm.
So I'm thinking that maybe it's something genetic.
Maybe she's predisposed to it, and then their experiments made it stronger.
I think
I'm thinking they take the mistakes that they had with her mother and gave them to her. Well, didn't do them with her.
Well, see, my view of what happened to her mother was just simply to fuck her up so she wouldn't rat on him for taking her baby.
Yeah, I mean, but her mom, I feel like genetically, it may have been genetic. I mean, they said that they pumped her full of LSD and psychedelics and ran all the tests.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to figure out how to unlock it. So apparently she had a gene or something.
I think she unlocked it because
to do that. And
notice how everyone else that 11 talked to in that upside down, I guess that wasn't upside down. It was just that dark black room full of water. See, we're getting into the second episode again.
No, it's okay. No. They show a lot about. She's in those rooms in the first season.
Okay, well,
yeah, but that's not the upside down.
When she would talk to people or something like that, they never noticed that she was there. But then whenever her mother was there, her mother
kind of noticed that she was.
I need
there.
to talk to you. You know what I mean?
She was the only one that noticed her when she was in there.
Right.
That's true. So maybe she was kind of genetically predisposed, and what they did made things, better or worse.
Which I mean, kind of makes sense because it wasn't like a group of people. So it's like, okay, where's number 8's mother or father or
right?
Did they have the same instance or or
spin-off comic, dude? Write it.
So just that kind of leads me into some of the things that I.
He's the one that came up with a really good idea, though. I mean,
that I disliked is her having these powers seems disconnected from. I know they tried to force it down that she has something to do with the upside down, but it doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like that's going on, and then they just so happen to run into a little girl who has these powers. Yeah. They feel like two different stories.
They are. I agree.
The upside down itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know she opened the gateway to it. Her powers are very ill-defined. Exactly what it is she can do.
She finds people with pictures.
I like the white noise aspect they've been pushing on that too.
Just has general telekinesis.
Yeah, super telekinesis.
That's one other thing I wanted to talk about was Channel Zero. Have you watched any of that? Mm-mm. It's a thing on Sci-Fi, and I think honestly, if you've ever, how many times have you talked to somebody and they said something about Sci-Fi?
What do you mean?
Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, there's a lot of
I watch Face Off.
Channel.
Right. That's my point. There's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I in my own personal opinion, unless they were taking
there?
a movie from the past, like The Fly or something like that, and throwing it on Sci-Fi, that's the only time you're going to watch Sci-Fi. But this Channel Zero, bravo, bro.
Yeah, it's good. I've seen it on there. I've never watched it yet.
Probably.
I'm checking it out.
It's second to Stranger Things. If you're in that genre of films, and,
so it looked like, to look at it and read the description, it kind of sounded like Black Mirror. Have you ever watched Black Mirror yet?
Oh my god!
In a way, kind of. It's
like anthology like that, or is it every episode connected? Or are they standalone like a Black Mirror or Twilight Zone?
In each season, every episode is connected, but they all have that same
crew. So it's just
general point of origin. You understand what I mean? It's basically, let me give you, like I said, what Stranger Things is which somebody finds the back door to the boogeyman for energy and kicks it in, and then finds out it's the fucking boogeyman. Channel Zero is basically somebody figures out how to mentally manipulate a paranormal activity into children's minds.
Oh, gotcha.
Which
that's cool.
Starts to carry into adults if they don't take care of it before they're adults.
That's cool.
You understand what I mean? Not take care of it, like the channel doesn't get what it wants from the kid. It keeps going into their adulthood, which I mean, we seem to have a trend of these films going on right now.
I guess what I'm saying is like her powers seem all over the place, and what were they trying to, like? Did it almost feel like, did they know there was this parallel existence and they were trying to get her to open it? They just didn't know what it was.
Maybe they were.
No.
Or what were they trying to get her to do?
Well, if you remember,
that cracked it open. Then,
if you remember, they were. I mean, if you're thinking about this as a lab to find weapons and all that crap, you know what I mean, like testing, doing the whole.
Cold War.
Yeah, if you apply that, which obviously you're applying that because, I mean, why wouldn't you? You're on this whole train anyways. Then I mean, they're trying to use her as a weapon, and they show her in the one scene, doing the words that the other guy is doing across. Wherever he was in the facility, that way he would say a word, she would repeat it. So they're trying to use, that's what they know of. They're trying to,
like
use
a military thing, kind of.
Well, yeah, they're trying to use that to create like a bridge. You know what I mean? And then she goes to this place when they use the bath.
That's right. They were like using her to like
identify and do
eavesdrop on people.
Yeah, she did do that.
Yeah,
on
but
some
where
Russian
does that
guy.
where does that lead to cracking open into the upside down? Is where I don't understand.
Well, when she goes,
we can't run on gasoline forever.
It was just accidental, I guess.
Yeah, it has to be, because when she goes into the bath, she goes into the black water room. You know what I mean, like the mind room, if you want to just call it that. But
it's like a sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah.
I mean, it explains the blindfold and stuff.
Yeah. She touches the thing. She doesn't know what it is. She describes it to Matthew Modine, and then later scene, Modine comes in. He says, "Today we make contact." Says it can't hurt you in there. They don't even know what it is. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea what it is. So really, they aren't looking for it. They just stumble across this big.
And now they want to know more.
And now, just natural curiosity piqued, and then her touching it. The crossing of the two planes in this area had to just, there's your portal right there.
I will always love that.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
And
it just
power,
the powers just seem
ill-defined.
One doesn't seem
She's fucking Neo.
Just a little off, but a little off topic. Like I hate to say it, but I love that in every film that when they come across something like this, supernatural, whatever, something that they don't completely understand, they still show people fucking gearing up with goddamn rifles and shit. Like, it's gonna fucking do something. Like, I mean,
what else are you gonna do? Just go up there with a fucking stick? I mean, I'm gonna put my best effort forward. Like, give me the biggest gun I can.
I'm gonna fucking leave. You don't
have the choice.
Sorry. Yeah, no, it's not. I'm not gonna be Rudy running for the fucking power switch and shit. I'm fucking busting a window out and I'm fucking jumping off a 2-story building.
Do you know how to speak basic?
Let me teach you some German and some French while I'm at it.
Yeah,
I love that.
That was good. That was a good
perfect.
input. Yeah,
that was good.
No, but I might throw the fattest person I can out the fucking window, and I'm going to land on him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not fucking fighting this supernatural.
So why do you think Will was able to? He doesn't have any powers, so why did he kind of have that ability to
survive?
Not just survive, but to communicate back to our world with his mom.
Being the spy is what you're saying. So
no. The first episode when he was stuck
first season, when Will is stuck there, nobody knows where he is. Yeah, like she strings the Christmas lights up with the letters, and he's able to communicate through the walls. And
well, you know what? Because he could freely move around. If you remember, I mean, he would hide out.
He was hiding under the tree.
Castle Byers, which was their little fort treehouse club that they made. But whenever anyone was in the Upside Down, walking around. When later when Joyce and Hopper are in there, they're walking by and then the lights are ticking on. So he would just be in his old house in the Upside Down at that time.
I understand. I just don't know why. I just don't know why he has the ability to.
I think a lot of that has to deal with
communicate across that barrier.
I think I answered my own question.
Well, why does anybody then?
Oh, I mean,
other than somebody like 11, if she goes in there and can communicate back across that barrier, I get it. I don't understand. And if everybody can, is it only because the rift was still open, or what? If somebody was stuck over there, and then and then the rift was closed off, and everything's hunky dory, but you didn't get back, and you're still stuck there. Are you constantly able to affect this world? And if so,
maybe as long
how
as
come
it's
we
open.
don't see the Demogorgons and stuff like that affecting? I mean, maybe that's like
side.
how come they're not fucking with the lights,
Okay.
and pushing their way through the wall?
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
think I'm
all
going to
the
do
time?
my own conspiracy theory with this now. I think I just answered my own question with the whole mother being able to talk to 11 in her fucking lobotic state of mind. Maybe it's just the kids are attached to their parents, in a way that
Yeah, but he just said the
no.
other people were able to do
Joyce
it
and Hopper
without
did it.
They weren't even trying.
When all the kids are in the house setting the trap and the bear trap and all that bullshit to try and catch the Demogorgon, Joyce and Hopper are in the house at the exact same time.
Well, my point is,
and that's when they see the light, so that an inference Will would be there at the same time.
There's
no connection.
I think I'm just gonna
It's just it happens.
Right. I think I'm just gonna write it off as because the rift was open and the worlds are kind of bleeding together. That's why they're able to.
We'll see that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was the world was bleeding together because I think that Will was actually the first one that saw anything that came out of that other than 11 and people inside of the energy company or whatever. And I think that's the reason why that thing took him first. And it was because you see me, so you're coming with me.
Be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wait.
So.
I forgot. It
was first and second episode when he's in the fucking shack loading up the 22 and shit.
See,
I'm
the
like,
thing
this kid's got
hunts.
balls,
Wait.
bro. Like,
was he bleeding? Was he bleeding at the time? I can't remember.
No.
Did he have a cut or anything?
I don't remember.
No.
Well,
I mean, he wrecked his bike.
Yeah, maybe from the bike wreck he could have.
There you go. That's
it
what it
didn't
was.
show like a cut or anything.
I know, but everything it always hunts. It was hunting. It was hunting that deer. That deer was bloody. It came and got that deer. They used the blood to attract it.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, that's what it was. He was out and alone in the woods. It was around his area. He had come through the gate to find it. You know what I mean?
I just think he was just
blood.
the type of kid that was like, I kind of recognize where I am. You know what I mean? Because he plays the games like Dungeons and Dragons and has the imagination to, maybe think of something like that. And I think that he took a chance and tried to call his mom.
They do call it the Nether. Fun fact, I did know this. The Duffer Brothers, when they wrote it in the script, it was never written as the Upside Down. It was only referenced to that one time. But the cast just kept calling it that. They wanted it was the Nether.
I like the
Well,
Upside
not to
Down.
mention that people were making jokes on set. Were you really going to call it the Nether region?
Yeah, the Nether region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that
we would have been those guys. We would have been like, we're going to the Nether.
They're talking about dicks.
There's a vagina somewhere.
I don't care if I'm 35. Dicks are funny.
Yeah, that's true. Dicks
we
and
never
farts,
really
man.
grow up.
No.
Sorry.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, so that's really. I mean, it just
have a dick
happens.
joke
It
on
all
my
bleeds
deathbed.
through, is what it is. The gates open, and then
Yeah,
just
because
the
it's bleeding through. You're able to.
and that's
kinda
why.
contact
That's
that.
kind of probably why the video camera can see the Thessal Hydra.
I think we'll have
You
a
know,
better
when
scenario of
it's-
that next season, though. I think we'll be able to touch
Next
base on
season?
it.
What do you think is going to happen next season?
Dude, I know it's gonna. They're gonna.
I mean, they're going to make a next season,
explain,
but what are they going to do?
They're gonna do an origin. Every fucking thing does
They
an origin
Christmas
now.
wrapped this thing in a pretty bow and left it under the tree.
Fuck
from
no, they
Santa.
didn't.
Tell me they didn't.
The first season, we had no fucking clue about
They
this
ended
thing.
the first season with the same ending on the second season. The thing that was coming, and we shut the door. Now it's gone, and it can't get here. And they have left no inference to how it could get here if they did. The only thing that's left unanswered, really, is
Well, it's obviously through electricity and the energy company is how it gets here.
No, it has nothing to fucking do with electricity.
It was a fucking energy company.
That's just a cover,
no,
dude.
are
It's
you
just a
kidding
cover.
me? That's the cover.
It's just the cover
Really,
for the-
MPs?
Yeah, but whenever she was
Energy?
talking to it through the phone, it fucking zapped her in the face.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
that's
but
just
the
a
energy
thing.
company was
It's
not
not the
really.
energy
It
company.
wasn't
There's
really
nothing.
Hawkins Energy.
That has something to do with it.
It
No,
was run by-
Hawkins Lab. That was all government run. They were all government MPs.
Just a cover
They
up.
all had the badges that say MP. Military police. That was not the
It had
energy
something
company.
to do with it, man.
It said Department of Energy.
The first
on there,
episode,
which
her
is a
whole fucking
branch
house is
of-
wired with fucking shit. You know what I mean? It has something to do with energy.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but
Oh yeah, but
The energy
company
company-
themselves
I'm not
is
saying fucking like pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying
Yeah.
it's like,
Ohio
it's-
Edison was not out there creating portals to fucking.
what if he fucking was?
No, it's
They
the
could
government.
do it.
There's the
Come on,
government.
Duffer.
The government. They're listening
hey,
in right
Indiana ain't that far away. You can have
No.
the third season in Ohio.
Yeah. I wonder what the population was there in Hawkins, though.
now. Small enough that nobody gave a shit.
I was gonna say it seemed pretty little.
Well, I mean, yeah, like whenever the people were listening in on phone conversations and shit, there's only like what 8 of them.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah,
seem like a real
but-
big place.
Well, I mean, that was before cell phones too. So
Well, I mean, even then, you only need to tap the one line, the outline. That's it.
no.
To get everybody.
Yeah, everyone they're going to talk to, you only need to tap the one line. You don't need to tap everyone. Hint.
Hint.
Yeah, hint, hint.
There was another
Government.
fun fact about what's his face's older sister's name?
Wow.
In the
wow. Give me that.
What
What's
is
his
the
face?
main older sister?
Nancy.
Mike Wheeler.
Mike.
His
Mike's older
sister is
sister.
Nancy. Yeah.
Nancy.
Yeah.
What was her boyfriend's name?
Which one?
Steve.
The first
Well,
one was Steve. The
The only
second
one that
was
fucking
Jonathan.
stuck through. Yeah.
Jonathan?
Poor guy.
The one in the season one,
only
she
one
was
that
all
stuck
hard.
through.
She was all hard up for Steve.
I guess
Steve
first,
Harrington.
I guess in the
King
first season he was
Steve,
supposed
yeah.
to be a bad guy in the show.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a
Originally
real
cast.
douchebag who even like
That's why they
raped
kept
her.
saying like douchebag was a big. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the
Basically.
reason why douchebag is like a big scenario in the first
Well,
season.
when-
But-
like, they always say douchebag when he's around and shit. You know
I
what
guess
mean?
the actor kind of made the character so likable
They
Yeah.
did. Yeah, he
was very likable.
they
he
cut
was
out.
he was originally written in as the human, antagonist.
I don't like
but
saying that about a
he
potential
didn't
rapist,
end up
but-
being that way. That's
Right, which is why we got Billy in season 2.
which is why we got Billy in season 2.
To be
Steve
the
was
human
intended
asshole.
to be Billy, but everyone liked Steve kind of enough because he got the shit kicked out of him for a girl. So then we came with Billy, who was like, "I hit girls. We don't like Billy."
Right.
You know, that was.
Right.
Do the arm thing.
So is this just an elaborate Eggos commercial?
Oh dear God!
So it's like Talladega
my
Nights in a
God.
way. Like
Yeah.
sponsorships left and
Wonder
right.
Bread.
Packs of wild dogs.
I mean, they throw the Nike symbol in there. You know, when they're
Well, just
walking
to knock
around
that,
in the
just to
fucking
knock that out
tunnels.
a little bit though. Stranger Things only had $6 million an episode.
Not season 2.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just
season
talking about the
2?
first
Okay,
season
Season 1.
because we're talking about the first fucking
You're right.
season. God damn it.
Season 1 at $6 million.
First season they only had $6 million. Was $2 million under Walking Dead.
And four under Game of Thrones.
And 4 under Game of Thrones, correct.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't think it was a big sponsorship program. I just think that it was just it was pop
I know,
culture back then.
it's
you
just
know.
funny that
No, it is.
this whole thing is just an
it does
elaborate
hold in,
ruse.
yeah.
It was an elaborate ruse to get you to buy more Eggo
Yeah,
waffle.
like the one time she has the cupboard open and you see spam and shit, and it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
come on. Only people that know about spam are people that like
wasn't
have prepared
Eggo-
for a bug out.
They don't come with their own key anymore, though.
Oh man,
They don't.
party's over.
Yeah.
And we bitch whenever we can't find a can opener.
That comes from our last episode, Dawn of the Dead. He talks about don't knock spam because it comes with its own key.
Yeah, that's right. He does. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. On Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, don't knock it.
I haven't been seeing a lot of relevance between our shows though lately. The kid from It has been in both films.
Yeah, the guys who created this were attempting to get hired as a director.
Right,
for
they were
it.
trying to play It, and
Right.
it's almost like we're getting paid off to do this, but we're not. But we'll accept checks.
Yeah, right.
And
We will get paid off to do this. It's fine.
I mean, if we do this enough, yeah, pay us, please.
I just thought it was funny because it's just we
Kids
were just
need
talking about
food.
deja vu and shit a little bit ago, and I'm just like, man, but like, how can we keep revolving around these people? And it's kind of scary because like I also think back about like movies that I watched in the past, and it's like I didn't know that guy was in this film. I forgot about that guy.
Right.
That guy's in this shit too. Like
Oh, I love it. I love it.
the acting world seems like such a small fucking world, but it's very vast.
Yeah.
We're still doing one, right? Season 1.
If you have more to say about season
No.
1, absolutely go ahead.
No, nothing.
No.
No, I mean just the ET truck flip or van flip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean really just that.
Yeah, riding on the
I love
bikes
how I
together.
relate more to the sheriff in season 1.
Dude, Hopper is my favorite fucking
He's a
character.
very good
that's not a
character.
kid.
Yeah.
And like I think
His-
about other films that he's been in, and I've never really enjoyed much of him.
Right.
But in this one, I
See, I connect real deep with Hopper
Yeah.
about like the
Yeah.
like you know what I mean.
Do you
like
guys
the kid thing.
buy Eleven and Mike as like
minus
a
the pills.
romantic?
Why is he eating the
Do I
pills?
buy it?
Yeah.
I mean, she
Of
doesn't
course.
know anything better.
We're getting into season
Mike's
2.
weird enough, you know, and
Yeah, but they
the
alluded
dungeon.
they alluded to
He's
the
the
lo-
game master.
as a love interest in season 1. They
Oh
did.
yeah, he absolutely does. He super likes her, and then when he talks to her for 353 days straight. Fucking straight every night on the.
And
he
she doesn't
loved this
talk
girl.
back.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're getting into season 2. Well, that's
Well, it doesn't.
just-
We're
that's
done with
everyday
one. Are we done
fucking
with one?
life, right?
Yeah, well, we could be doing. I'm just
I mean,
saying
we're
we could be
bleeding.
done with
We've
one.
been
It's
bleeding
fine.
through back
we
and
are.
forth.
We
you
are
know.
going back and forth
Spoiler,
a little bit.
we don't care.
It's gonna happen when we. Yeah. Yeah. So season 2.
I mean, it doesn't feel forced. If you're asking if it feels forced, it doesn't feel forced like a forced relationship. Like you should see, like the character gets the girl. You know what I mean? Even though, like the end, they all get a girl, kind of in a way.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't feel forced. Like her powers are forced. Like she can do all kinds of cool shit. We're not going to tell you what she can do, but just fucking accept it.
Yeah. That way
You know what I
we can
mean?
we can have her do whatever we want her
Yeah,
to do.
we can do. Yeah, we're leaving
we-
her open ended.
Yeah, we don't have to explain why she can do this new thing.
You know,
all of
and
a
she
sudden.
flies at the end of season 2. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Come on, Neo. Neo. She even looks like Neo in season 2. Get out of here. She has a meeting with the Oracle in season 2. Come on.
She doesn't
The
look like him.
The black lady on the bus, that's the Oracle. That's the Oracle from sitting on the bench in the Matrix. She looks just like Neo with her hair slicked back and her
once it's
black.
slicked back.
Come
okay, I see what you're
on.
saying.
Episode
She
7.
turns
No,
into
that's
Neo.
not Neo. That was Neo's bitch in the fucking Matrix. Whatever the fuck her name was.
Oh,
Yeah,
Trinity.
But Trinity,
Yeah.
but Trinity couldn't move things and fly, so she's Neo.
She just
She's
can't fly.
with a baby
She could
face.
fly in a second. I don't remember her.
No,
flying.
she can't. He's just saying
Uh.
that they've left her powers open
Don't
so
get me
that
wrong.
So open.
she can
I
do
ate some
what
shrooms, but
she can
I
do.
fucking don't remember her flying.
No, she didn't. He's just saying they've left her powers. They haven't
Wide
defined. They haven't
open.
defined them. That way they can let her. They can have her pretty much do
anything.
whatever,
Yeah.
and you'll be like, "Holy shit, she can do that too."
As
Not
well?
like, "Fuck, this is all." You said that she could do this, this, and this. Where the hell did that come from?
I know it was kind of
Right.
rushed because like at one point like her nose would start bleeding after unlocking a door, and now it's like every 10 seconds she's.
Well, I
fucking
mean, that's
bleeding.
just getting stronger and stronger. I mean, if it's a muscle and you exercise it, whatever, you can do more shit.
She never wipes it off either. Bothers the shit out of me.
Oh,
She
like,
does every. I mean, no, you never see her.
You
actually
never see her wipe it off. It's
but
there.
It's there,
and
and then
it
it
stays
disappears.
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
And
be,
nobody else ever wipes it off for
Yeah.
her.
Like
No, that
like if you want to
bugs the
be if you want to be
oh.
Elle for next Halloween, you should just get a white T-shirt with nothing but a big ass blood stain on your shirt, like because it just kept coming. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're right. It's there, and then
That's
all of a
what
sudden
she
it's
said.
not. It's there for a long time, and it's like somebody wiped the fucking shit
I think
off
she
her.
wiped
Right.
it twice in this last season.
Be an
yeah.
adult. Wipe a child's bloody nose. Come on now.
Right.
Look, we're getting all that. That's the other thing about this fucking show, man. That drives me fucking bonkers. That
What?
none of the
parents
adults
give
have
a
a
shit?
fucking idea,
Oh, terrible parents.
except for
Well-
yeah. That whole town is full of shitty fucking parents.
Yeah.
like it's the sheriff, Winona
Only-
Ryder, and her boyfriend Rudy finally gets into the
Only
fucking.
decent adults in the
Yeah.
entire series.
Yeah, Mike's-
At the end
Mike's
of the season.
Paul Reiser, though. I'll give Paul Reiser the benefit of the doubt because even though he was, I mean, he inherited a shitty situation.
He did, and he turned out he was a good dude. Like, he wasn't just like a government lackey who was willing to just fuck everybody over for their goals.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
what the fuck else was he in?
wanted to.
Paul Reiser? That's
Reiser,
been
mad about you. Come
that
on,
drove
mad
me
about
nuts.
you.
No, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That has been driving me fucking bonkers the whole
He looks-
season. I was
Google.
tripping balls watching this show, and I'm like, I know this fucking guy. And I was like, he had black hair.
Yep,
he, had
he was
black
way
hair and it was
thinner.
curly, and he wasn't as old.
Yeah, he was
Who
way
the fuck is
he was way thinner too. He's put on
Yeah.
some pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I love it how
still
he's
knew he
like
was Paul
that,
Reiser. As soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, I know who you are.
What's the word when a teacher's like with a contract and it's hard to fire
Tenure.
him? Tenure. He's
Yeah.
like that 10-year doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's just. So what's that fucking mean? Like, do some science, man. Aren't you?
The
It was
stress
nice
ball.
it was nice though. You're right. It was nice to see the government guy not
you
necessarily
not being a
be.
dick.
Yeah, he wasn't Matthew Modine, who was just being an asshole to further his own goals. Like he was obviously trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And fix the fucking problem, and he wasn't going to.
He had a fucking soul.
Yeah, he wasn't willing to throw
Yeah.
human
And he
beings under
survived.
the bus.
He survives.
Yeah,
he
that's
actually makes
why
it to
he
the
did.
end.
If he was an asshole, I bet they'd kill him outright.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least they gave Matthew Modine. I mean, he just got ate up. Like that was it. I
Yeah,
think,
but he was a dick.
I know, but
And that's
the
fun.
brain melting was awesome as a motherfucker. When I hated that government girl, that government chick. Oh, I could not. She just gave me the heebies. Like if I saw you and you came to my house and were like, "We're doing this," like, bitch, be gone. You look creepy as shit to me. But the brain melting was cool. One of my favorite scenes on season 1. The brain melting of all the little government people in the area when they're in the school.
Oh yeah.
All their eyes bleed out.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
And that's when the Demogorgon comes because all the blood and he just eats
Demogorgon.
everything up.
That's Demogorgon. That's another thing.
So- There was I like season 2. I was what I didn't like about it. There's a couple things I did not like about season 2.
Please elaborate.
Season 1, I didn't have too much of a problem with anything, to be honest with you.
No,
because
season
it was
1
new and you're learning about the world and
and
everything. And what I didn't like about it is they kept 11 away from the other kids for so long, and I thought that's what made season 1 so great was them all together. And they kept her away for so long, and sure, it kind of paid off. But I'm like, did we have to wait so
I don't know.
long?
Those kids were extremely fucking
Did we
brave,
have to
weren't
wait? They were, but did we have to wait so long to get her back with the group?
Yeah, I
Because,
agree.
like,
Yeah,
like,
she was.
she
Trying,
is
she
too-
was. She was trying to find herself, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
She was, but she's such an important character, and like for at least the first half, all we see is her moping around a cabin alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of just to
Well,
give
it was-
you
it was-
the
the
feel of like what
touch
she's
that-
going through.
Yeah,
like
I'm back in
she's
a prison.
She's back in a prison. She's been there for a year now. Hopper won't let her leave, and it's to give you that kind of like that angst that she's feeling, and then they
Right.
end it with the tantrum, as they call it a psychic tantrum. They wanted to write it
Shatters
out.
all the windows and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact. You probably watched it if you watched the end thing. They blew all that glass out, and that was the actor that played Hopper. No stunt double in the room with all that glass.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, he didn't want a stunt double. He was like, my face is good, protected by the door. Just blow all this glass up. I'm good. I want this shot.
I thought that was a pretty good portrayed scene, if you ask me. Like, it looked like a father and daughter having their fight, and you know, on top of that, you learned in the first season that he lost his daughter, and
yes.
You know,
oh god, like
Elle coming in at the same time, same age. You know,
I got a lot about that.
I don't know.
Can we just go to that? Can we just
if you
go
guys,
to that?
yeah, if you want, I'll just interject
Please.
this
Your
one thing,
heartstrings, man,
because we're talking about his daughter. Okay, so I don't know, I don't know if anybody noticed. We'll jump back to season 1 for a second. So, all through season 1 and season 2. He is wearing, Hopper is wearing a blue band around his wrist.
Oh, I hadn't
Did you
noticed.
notice?
I hadn't noticed.
He is. He's wearing a blue wristband around his wrist. Okay, he wears it.
Oh, it's his doctor.
They don't talk about it. They don't really put it. You know what I mean? They don't really talk about it. Nobody really mentions it. But there's a few scenes where, like, when he is. He's got it upset and he's on the phone and he's got it pulled up off his wrist and onto his hand and he's kind of fiddling with it and stuff.
You know, I vaguely remember that. I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah,
as to,
because
like,
nobody
main thing.
mentions it, but
Right.
he's always wearing
Fidgeting
it. So
with it.
they also in the flashbacks
blue?
it's a blue wristband. Now when he is when they show the flashbacks to when he's dealing with his daughter dying from cancer. Are you guys listening to me?
I am. I have no idea what this motherfucker's trying to write.
Okay, so
is it the river Styx? Is that what you write? That's what I see. It looks like, is it the Styx?
all right. So anyway, they flash back in the first season. They show him dealing with his daughter, cancer, and everything. Well, before her hair is cut off, she has her hair in a ponytail, and it's a blue hair tie.
Blue hair tie. That's what's on his wrist.
And then they
blue
show
hair
her
tie.
when they show her again after she's lost her hair from the chemo treatments. He's now wearing her hair tie around his wrist. So that's what he's wearing on his wrist is his daughter's hair tie. Now, what's really like pulled the heartstrings about it is
that's already fucking there, man. What do you mean?
That's enough. But on top of that, so like he gets to they let him adopt 11.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. At the end. Yeah.
And then he lets her go to the dance. And there's a scene when the close-up scene.
Let her. I don't think you can stop her.
Well, he couldn't. But he kind of got.
You can be on the right side of that or the wrong side of that.
Yeah.
Be on the right.
He was on the right side of it this time.
Good job. Let's make you look pretty.
So, in the close-up, so Mike shows her where to put her hands for them to dance. Mm-hmm. And when they do the close-up of it, she's wearing that blue wristband.
Oh,
she's wearing the blue headband around her wrist.
I'm gonna have to just go watch some season 1 episodes now just to feel it again.
Awesome.
Oh, dude, I connect with Hopper on so many. With my daughter, I connect with Hopper a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, especially with the way Ariana throws her tantrums and the way like that Elle throws her tantrums.
Dude, she starts throwing vans in the air.
Yeah, not my daughter, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Hope not.
Right? Oh, fuck, I hope not, dude. If she
Are you
does.
kidding me? You hope not.
I hope not. No, because now
I don't want my
I'm
daughter
not
to
the
fucking
boss
crush me
anymore.
because I took away her mac and cheese or something. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, can you help me clean up? No, I said please.
all of a sudden I'm a fucking pop can.
All right, so let's hope she doesn't do it till she's like old enough for you to talk about it. So she's like, kill you.
Right.
Don't crush everybody, honey.
Just be a fucking superhero.
Don't
Come on, you can't tell her no on that.
Yeah, that is true. If she would be a superhero, I'll be proud of her.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be proud of her
until she decides that she wants everyone dead. And she
becomes a
she has a bad dream one night and
at
kills
that point,
everybody. Like,
at that point, don't I only have myself to blame? Because if she wants everyone dead, that means I fucked it up somewhere.
Not really, though.
I fucked it up.
What if she's just having a bad dream and like only way for her to get out of the dream?
That's not gonna happen.
You're talking like some Jean Grey, Phoenix syndrome stuff?
Fuck that. That's a fucking idea, man.
That's not gonna happen anyway. That kid's too nice.
Oh, so number 8.
Oh, 11? Oh, that's
no, his daughter's too nice.
Oh my god, dude, she's the only person I know that can just like go and pick up a fly and the fly just sits there on her finger.
It's November.
I don't know. I've watched her pick on her brother a couple times.
Oh yeah.
It's November of 2017 now, and that's 11 months out of the year. Still the nicest thing anybody said to me in 2017 came out of her mouth. So,
what was it? It was like
we were going to kickball and we showed up.
Oh
and
yeah,
I was late. And I walked up behind her to say hi, and she turned around and saw me. She said, "Mike, I'm so glad you're here." Yeah,
That's my girl, man.
it's like nobody else was that happy to see me.
The only way that could be better if she just looked at it and said, "Now rip out your heart and eat it."
Oh my god, I'm gonna teach her.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw this bus on you. My brain.
Yeah. I'd do it though.
That. Number 8.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
we're back on Hopper.
Yeah.
Keep on Hopper. Yeah.
Oh no. That's
run
what
the
I
low,
had
bro.
about Hopper.
Oh,
That
Hopper.
is very, very. I thought that was very heart
Dude.
heart wrenching. That like it was it's good heart wrenching when you see it's bad
like,
heart wrenching when you see that it's his daughter who died, but then it's like, oh my goodness,
it's his redemption. Is
Right.
what it is. He gets his chance at redemption. He feels like a person again.
right?
Well, yeah, you notice in the first season he like fucking was downing alcohol and eating
Oh yeah,
pills.
he gives no
Second
shit.
season,
in
he
the
does.
first season.
Yeah, he's not
no
fucking,
fucks.
No, he's got a new reason to live now.
Right? No, yeah. I
Somebody
mean,
to
he's
care
living
for.
out in a fucking camper, a single wide. He's a single wide out in the middle of who knows where.
Right.
People roll up, chief. You know, you got the cops.
Remember,
dude, the two
mornings are
cops,
for
they're
contemplation.
So good. The random cop comic relief from those two
Oh, yeah,
guys.
definitely.
Oh,
You
so
want
By
some,
so-
Chief?
By so good, you mean they're so bad at their fucking job?
Well, yeah,
Yes.
it reminds you of Simpsons in a way. right?
they're just like two walking like dad jokes is what they are. Just horrible pun after pun after pun.
Nah, I did love that though. Whenever he got there at the beginning, whenever Will first went missing, and he goes, "Remember what the hell was the lady's name? Margaret, the fucking
Thatcher?
assistant lady." Anyway, he's like, "Remember, they're for contemplation and reflection. They're for contemplation and reflection. Mornings are for contemplation and reflection." And he walks in, and then Winona Ryder's sitting there like, "Where's my son?" You know, doing her frantic thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Mike Wazowski kind of lady. Yeah.
I thought she was great about that though.
She was good.
Not the reception lady. She did a great job too. But
I'd
I
be
thought Winona Ryder did a very good job as a mother that was missing a child.
Oh,
And, I mean, like she's so old school though. Like, did you read that thing too about how like she had no idea what streaming?
Yeah, I
meant?
was just gonna say that. Like she claimed to not know what streaming was when she was
when they were talking about like Netflix.
Yeah, when they approached her to do this, she claimed to not really even know what streaming was.
Just
like,
like she
wait.
claimed to not have stolen that shit out of that department store.
Right? Like
yeah.
I call bullshit. You don't know what Netflix is.
Right, you probably have Netflix and
I
you
don't
don't know what that
man.
is.
I mean, like,
Come on.
Right.
She's
No.
about the same age as my mother. My mom,
My fucking mom don't have Netflix, but she knows what
bro,
the fuck it is.
I'm telling you, if my
Right.
mom was alive to today, she would not know how to turn on her cell phone.
Oh, I'm not saying
Because they moved the button and it doesn't have a power sign on it anymore. Like she just doesn't. It wouldn't grasp. Like I told you, man.
Oh,
she called me home from school to turn off the tower.
It's a struggle, but I taught my mom how to use an iPhone, so she'd be able to do it.
I could
still
not teach
teaching
my
my-
mom. I remember trying to teach her how to text, and she couldn't finish words. She would put the first letter in and then hit space, thinking that it like
Had to hit it.
would,
to go
that
to the
was
next
the
button.
word would automatically show up on my phone. Like she had no idea what texting was.
Yeah, I mean, she was bad. My mom was bad at it at first, but she got it. I mean, she can install apps. She plays games. She uses Facebook. She's good with it now. But
I just had to teach my mother-in-law how to copy paste to your
Control
messages.
C, Control
no,
B.
to your like she was like, now should I just take like a screenshot of this address and send it to you? I was like, no, because I don't like that because I can't just fucking click it and go where I want.
yeah, you can't
So
open up your maps.
I'm gonna
no
teach
leisure.
you how to copy and share this random address you find. You know what I mean? Since there's no like link share or nothing like that here. Hold it down, do the thing, do the share. There you go. Because I don't want to have to go picture, type, type. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I hate that.
No,
I
trust
hate
me,
having
man,
to
like-
teach technology to people who are technology illiterate.
I remember when.
It like irks the core of me.
Yeah,
That's all well and good, but that bitch saying she don't know what Netflix was in 2000,
No,
she's
we're
full
calling
of
you
shit.
out.
Dude, I don't know,
the
man.
Cinemigos
'cause,
are calling you
well,
out. Winona
yeah, you're
Ryder.
probably right, but I don't think she knew what streaming was.
She might not know how to use it.
Yeah.
No, really.
Look,
you
man,
can a smart TV.
I mean,
you can
I'm
turn
in
it
high
on
school-
and hit the button and click a movie.
I mean,
That's
I
3
fucking doubt
clicks.
she can't.
I'm in
say
high
she don't
school,
know how to use
and
it.
we just got cell phones, right? I just spent 2 days teaching my mom how to turn on her cell phone and how to make a call with her cell phone. She calls me in the middle of class to tell me to come home and turn off my computer. Mind you, it's just a desktop PC, man. All you gotta do is hold the button in, and it shuts off, right? No. I had to leave high school, come all the way home, because she wouldn't listen to me on how to turn off the computer because she thought she was going to break it.
Oh my god.
No, I know. I
was
get
like-
it. I understand.
Certain people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I know, but somebody who like literally works in the movie business has got to know.
Yeah. I want to talk.
Well, you should, especially if
All
you're
right,
getting
so
paid fucking millions of dollars for
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
So Winona Ryder knows what the fuck Netflix is. I don't care what.
Like I said, we're calling your bullshit, just like the pair of panties you stole from back in the day.
I'm trying to defend you, chick.
All right.
Right?
So,
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Number 8. I got some beef about
that's what I'm
number
saying.
8.
So that whole episode was very controversial to people. It would split people down the middle, whether they liked it, whether they didn't, whether they thought it was placed in the right part of the series. The episode where she goes to Chicago and meets number 8.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. I'm following. That was like 2 episodes.
Was pretty divisive. Well,
right?
yeah, but it was really just one.
Yeah.
It was just one where
Yeah,
she
the
was
second
actually
one
with
was where
him.
she left. Yeah, it was one episode that just was like, here, I kind of found myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a day, less than 24 hours.
Here's the thing. Like, it did seem out of place.
Forced.
Here's the thing. To me, like, I would watch that show.
Yeah, that show would be killer.
Right?
Right? Like
Her-
80s punks with like some like telekinetic powers just like rolling around through like
with 11 and
downtown.
number 8 and some like lackeys committing
Yeah.
crimes and on the run. I would watch that show.
I would read that comic. And I don't read them. Like I would read that comic. Like that's cool. I'm glad you brought that up, dude. That's awesome.
I'm like, it seems out of place for this show, but if that was a show,
Watch it.
I'd be down.
Right? What if they
let's
like
make
just
a whole series about. I don't even care if 11's in it. Let's do a spin-off of number 8 and her Mohawk buddies.
You'll probably
Yeah.
get your wish
Committing
season
crime.
3.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But my
Because,
big thing
you know, the whole at the end, whenever 11 decided to leave and she was all teared up, like, no, you're my sister, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
which I
can't-
felt a little bullshit on that too.
Yeah, at the end, it's going to be, well, yeah,
Yeah.
she was definitely using the bitch.
Well, yeah, of course she was. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it wasn't-
Two-Face was already there. They showed it.
Right. It was not all about how much she cared about her. It was.
Right.
There might have been some of that, but it was more like, oh, what can we get away with
Right.
her on our side too?
Yeah, a little devious attitude.
I think you'll get a little more of an answer to that in the third one.
Yeah, you can't introduce a character that comes off as that important to not just to 11, but to the story as a whole of what went on at Hawkins Laboratory and everything else, and then just show her for one episode and we'll never talk about her again.
And she has a really unique power, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Just the one
just the
power.
one. So that's just the one that they only show, and that's all she says she can do.
Yeah, but
That's
as
a
we've,
real-
we've learned with 11 that may not be the case.
I mean, she could maybe turn into that butterfly, fly way.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
Who knows what all she could do.
Maybe she's part of the Upside Down.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. She seems to be too important to not just this series, but the story, the background, to just show up for one episode and us never see her again.
That was my big thing, dude. Is like she's in for like one episode. You hint at her with like as a little girl. She comes in as an episode, as some hard ass when you meet her. Then she likes her sister. Then she uses her, sister, air quote. You know what I mean?
She's obviously going to have
And
the same
then-
instances like 11. Like 11 keeps getting stronger, and this chick's going to obviously keep getting
She
stronger.
seems older though. She
She's
should
older.
be stronger.
She's definitely older. She's well more versed within the world. And her only purpose in this series was to say, use your anger as a thing.
And it
You know what
worked.
I mean? Oh, yeah. But that was her only purpose. Her only purpose was to say, here,
Everybody
let me
needs their
Rafiki
Obi-Wan,
you,
bro. Everybody
right?
needs their Obi-Wan.
Right. Let me just give you some Rafiki advice real fast, and then
That's
and
true.
then
I just think
bounce
she's
out.
too important to the backstory.
Yeah.
For us to just not ever see her again.
What we're saying is we want to see more of her story.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Absolutely.
do. And how
Yes.
she connects and where is
I want to
where's
know if
one
there
through
was other kids.
where's
Yeah.
where's 1 through 7 and then 9 and 10.
And then give me my X-Men, goddammit.
I want to know one. Like I'm interested on who's one.
Right.
One. Well,
But I'm saying you
one's
don't-
probably dead. I mean, to be honest, though, when you think about it,
They'll probably have a zero,
one's probably
though.
dead. They probably tested the shit out of
Yeah.
one died. 2, probably the same. 3,
See, that's what I thought whenever
4,
they had 11.
I would say by the 4th kid, after testing them out, they might have figured out how to, maybe not shock the
Okay,
shit or
so-
do something crazy and kill them.
Regardless, by number 8, they succeeded.
Right? They succeeded
So
by 8. Where's 9?
Where's 9 and 10?
Yeah, where's 9 and 10?
Yeah.
So even if they all died up to number 7,
See, I thought they
we
all
know for
died
sure
up to
number 8.
number 11. Like that was what my thought
Everybody
was.
thought that
Didn't
until
they-
now.
Yeah,
you know?
until 2, yeah.
We'll see.
The detective, the little detective writer guy.
Oh, that dude was awesome.
Oh, I love
The
his
conspiracy
character.
theorist,
Oh, dude, I love when
I'm
he's just
thinking.
sitting out there in the van at the end and he's just watching him. Little MP gives him the
Gelman?
finger. Gelman?
Yeah, I think that was his name, Gelman.
I can't remember what his character's name was. Is that
No,
his
that's
name?
his.
Although,
that is
although it
Gelman's
was also
name.
kind of awkward, like the whole
encouraging the
yeah,
teen sex in my guest
yeah,
room.
get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought that was
I'm
a
not
little
going to
creepy.
jail over
Here,
this shit.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
get
I
these
get
teenagers
it was the
drunk.
80s, but at the same time, no. Get the fuck out. You ain't fucking on my sofa. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm gonna get you all drunk. We did a good thing. Y'all go fuck in my
I'm
spare
not even
room.
getting you drunk. Get the fuck out.
Like that dude don't have that conspiracy theory guy don't have fucking cameras set up everywhere.
Oh, for real,
That's
right?
why. That's why he was encouraging it,
Right.
Because he's getting himself a 1984 VHS, maybe a Betamax, might have been a Betamax.
Man. Figured out how to put it on Laserdisc. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
how was the pull out? My favorite fucking joke.
I did laugh. Yeah, that was funny. I was like, his game is strong.
Right, yeah. Oh, man.
I did think that was good, though. Just how they added him into it and, like, wanted to water it down in a way. You know what I mean?
That was beautiful.
That was a cool.
Good writing.
Yeah, that was neat. I thought, like, how often does that happen in society today?
I thought though, like honestly, because we were just talking about how like Paul Reiser turned out to be like, although he was like, he represented the man. You know what I mean? The man. You know what I'm saying by the man, like the government.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? He represented the man.
He was the Smith.
Yeah. Okay. But he turned out to be a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that like he brought Nancy and Jonathan Byers in. He explained to him why they needed to keep the stuff quiet.
Right.
And then they totally fucked him over and went and ratted on him anyway. Like, and because he did that, I don't understand how he has any power left. You know what I mean? Like, you'd think once that got all over the newspapers and it's his voice on tape admitting that they're responsible for Barb's death, and he somehow was not made. In my eyes, the government would have made that dude the fucking fall guy in a second.
Oh, fall guy and probably killed him.
He would have taken every last bit of shit from that, but he didn't. He was still around with enough pull to get
the
Hopper to get the adoption going on.
Maybe it was his own private contract, though. Maybe that was his shit.
But I'm telling you, in real life, that guy, if the government a government program like that gets busted and his voice is the one on the tape saying they're responsible for Barb's death, that guy is taking the shit for.
I mean, then again, the guy did take over a whole fucking town. You know what I mean?
He is going to be disavowed by the government. They don't know shit. This guy was a lone wolf.
Maybe he's got more power than what we thought. You know,
he must have.
You know.
Paul Reiser's character. What I was saying was,
how he had so much pull.
Yeah, how did he have so much pull? But like Nancy and them, like he turned out to be a good guy. So I almost felt bad that Nancy and Jonathan fucked him over by recording him and turning him in, because although he was, like I was saying, he was a representative of the man, in quotation, he turned out to be a good dude.
Well, I mean, he's obviously not in prison. They show him. I mean, he gets the birth certificate.
Well,
he still has so much pull that he gets new birth certificates.
Nobody gives a fuck about Hawkins, bro. Nobody. Not one fucking person.
Right. That's what I don't buy though. Is like, okay, so if a real government program was outed like that, and it's his voice on the tape, he would be the fall guy for all that shit.
For everything.
Completely disavowed. They didn't know. They sent him over there to do this thing. He was doing that thing, and they didn't know it. There's no way that he still has the power to get that adoption to go through.
Maybe he was just like.
Well, here's another. To keep the story going and stuff, here's a question. Since 11 closed the portal for the
to the Upside Down, yes.
Yep.
It's not a Demogorgon. I guess he would be bigger than a Demogorgon. He would be.
Well, they referred to him as the Mind Flayer.
Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer. Okay. Yeah. Since she closed that portal, do you think that everything to the Upside Down is closed?
Well, I mean, they give you that impression, but if there has definitely been a third season confirmed, so they got to go.
Well, I'm saying there's
go somewhere with it.
Go somewhere.
There was so many different openings and stuff, and it's
now
like the first.
Everyone's back.
If you paid attention to the first episode, it was the first time there was a tear. Which in the second season, she walked through the tear herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a hint to that in the first season. That first flare that was open was from her walking through it. Because that's how the first upside down, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Demogorgon or whatever. It wasn't a Demogorgon. It was the little being that took Will.
That's a Demogorgon.
That's a Demogorgon.
That's how he got in.
Well,
was from her
she touched him.
How about? I'm sorry, but
she touched him.
To interrupt this, but how about that fucking idiot Dustin not telling everybody.
I wanted to smack the little shit out of the kid.
That he didn't find him.
Here, just stay quiet under my hat, little buddy. Like, no, get out of
come
here.
on,
you know what it is.
Yeah.
You know. You just saw this thing eat things not but a year ago. This is just small, but I looked at that. And
My thing was
so mad at him for that.
My question was,
call it Dusticus Tadpolicus. The fuck off, kid. You're gonna call it dead. Step in on it now.
the whole thing about that for me was where was its mother?
Well, there was no mother. That was the thing that Will spat
yeah,
out of the thing.
he puked it up at the end of season 1.
Oh,
Yep.
that's right.
That's what that was. Yep.
Wow, just changed the whole revelation for me. But no, the thing is like I said, it's 11 is the one opening these tears. So
Well, it only opened when she touched the Demogorgon. That's when it opened.
the first one,
Yes. Because
they never showed her touching a Demogorgon.
yeah, in the black room with all the water. That was the Contact episode.
That was the end of the first episode or the first season, right?
Yeah. No, that they just show you how it happened. That was not chronological. All that was flashback.
I'm talking about the tear like that was in the high school. That was her opening that tear, and that was another way for another thing to get through.
No, those tears were all caused by the opening.
Those are caused by her.
No,
she caused the very first one in the very first episode.
Then what about the one in the tree?
That's why she was in the woods.
What about the one in the tree?
That's why she was in the woods.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's
We'll
we're getting far here on
I
time.
mean, I'm
so
just saying I've watched the fucking thing 7 times. Like,
well, then I mean the vine, the portals. Yeah, I don't know, man.
every time she came through an area, something else came behind her.
I don't know actually how.
Did
those
I break
portals...
it? Did I fucking break it?
High score? What does high score mean?
Yeah, I mean, they said the same shit.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
And that's whenever the fucking white haired dude, her dad, or Papa. Papa showed up and he
Matthew
goes,
Modine.
"Where is she?"
All right, let's get to some just general facts and stuff and comment on these before we close this up.
Sorry guys, I know we keep talking your fucking ears
so,
off.
The show was originally imagined as just a 1-season event where 11 was going to die at the end of the first season, saving her friends, and that was going to be it. That was going to be the story. It was going to be a 1-season event.
That would have
that
sold.
was-
You know, I
I
still would have watched it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right?
when they came out with the second one, that's when I watched the first season. But I still would have bought the first season with her dying. I would have been complete with that.
No.
Right. Well, that's cool. Okay, so next year we were speaking about the Demogorgon, which according to Dragon Magazine is Dragon Magazine. You know Dragon Magazine?
Like that too?
It's been around forever. Dragon Magazine, it's an RPG, like a tabletop. It's a pen and paper RPG magazine. It's been around forever. But according to Dragon Magazine, it's the Demogorgon is considered the most powerful villain in the very first edition of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah.
It rules as a demon prince of the abyss, an ever-changing plane of chaotic evil.
So the brothers loved the shit out of that stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Some other interesting facts, trivia. The quarry scene in chapter 2. The
That's
weirdo,
from,
the weirdo,
It, right?
the episode, the weirdo on Maple Street.
Or no, Walking Dead.
The weirdo on weirdo on Maple Street, which is a complete homage to a Twilight Zone episode called "The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street."
Oh, didn't know that.
It's a good episode. If you ever see it, it's one of the better Twilight Zone episodes.
Newer one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the same location of that quarry was used in The Walking Dead season 1.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
And episode 4, Vatos.
Yeah.
All the main kids of the show of The Walking Dead, or not The Walking Dead, sorry,
Close.
of Stranger Things, when they auditioned, they used lines from E.T.
Go
I heard
figure.
about that. Yeah,
They use
and,
lines from E.T. when Elliot is introducing E.T. to his older brother.
The kid that played
Go
Will, I believe,
figure.
was sick and Skyped his audition.
Yeah, I don't think it was any of the kids. It was one of the, I can't remember who it was.
Sean Astin sent in a tape. He just wanted to be.
He just wanted to be in it. And
He just wanted to be in it.
He was in so many like
Perfect.
that.
We didn't even
like
touch upon him really.
No, I mean,
I love
we
Bob.
didn't really
I
talk
love
about Bob.
Bob.
We
I
should talk
love
about
it.
Bob for a second.
All right, real quick. I love Bob.
Yeah, he was
I wanted
awesome.
to not like Bob, and when I first introduced him, but I love Bob.
Yeah, he was such a good dude. Like,
yeah.
he wanted to really be that
Willing
dad.
to fully accept everything. They're in a hospital, like, you're gonna have to sign all these papers about all this. He's like, yeah, it's cool. I love
mean,
you.
he figured
You know
out
what I
the
mean?
key.
Like, I'm here
He
for you
figured out
guys.
the puzzle for him, you know.
Yo,
Yeah, he didn't like at all question. He was like,
Never
These
cared.
are the people I care about, and this is what they're going through, and I'm not going to ask any bullshit questions or disbelieve them. I'm just going to do the
Right.
shit that they need me to do to help them.
Right.
Samwise.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
way to just break the mold there,
Right.
buddy.
No.
But yeah, no, I love Bob. All right, back to
Yeah. So anyway, that scene, the quarry is the same set that was used in Walking Dead season 1. The kids, like I said, were auditioned using lines from ET, where they are introducing Elliot, or where Elliot is introducing ET to his older brother, which makes sense because both ET and 11 have telekinetic powers. They're both kind of aliens, and you kind of get that scene where like when anytime Mike has to kind of introduce new people to her, it feels very much like that. So yeah, it makes sense.
This is my human that doesn't know what a blonde wig or a pink dress is. Yeah.
Right.
Here's a good one. So you remember the scene when Will wins one of Dustin's comics in the very first episode of season 2?
Yeah, like 135 or something like that?
134.
134.
He asked for X-Men 134, which is significant because in this comic, Jean Grey unleashes the Dark Phoenix for the first time.
That makes sense.
Understands who she is.
Yeah, it's just little like, dude,
Little things, man.
Yeah.
So
That's
literally,
what-
they
that's
just
what
like
I
went
said
through
at the
their
beginning of the fucking
childhood.
episode, man. It's the little shit that made you stick to the show.
They just
Right.
went through their childhood, pulled everything through, and then just like, yeah, this is a great story that everyone
turns
else
out this
has
works
written
for this
parts of.
too. Yeah.
And obviously, aside from having Sean Astin there, who is like a physical representation of a reference to Lord of the Rings movies, there's a lot of other ones, specifically the forest that Will gets. They call the forest that Will gets lost in.
Oh, it's
They call it. I'll let you figure it out. I know what it is. I mean, I knew what it was before this, but
the Sylvana. I can't remember.
Mirkwood,
Mirkwood.
which is it's a big main location in
Mirkwood.
in
That's where they
Lord of
found the
Rings
wizard,
universe.
right?
Well, it's pretty much it's a really big part of the Hobbit. It's not
that's
quite
what-
as big a part of the Lord of the Rings series.
Well,
but
the one wizard was named after.
another Lord of the Rings.
They have a Tolkien reference, don't they?
Yeah, another one is the password to get into Castle
that's
Byers.
it. The wizard. The wizard's
is
name.
is Radagast.
Radagast.
Is the password
Is from
The Hobbit,
Another
right?
yeah.
I thought there was a reference in the library at some time where they said, "What are you, Tolkien or something?"
I don't
I
recall.
can't remember. I thought there was.
The final little thing I have down here is
That's cool,
that,
though. You know?
Tinsley and Aniston Price are both play Holly Wheeler, which is Mike's little sister. They're a set of twins, and they also played Judith Grimes in season 4 of The Walking Dead.
Which, after learning that fact, and I was watching it again, and I was like, yeah, I see it. That's the same baby.
That's the same, baby.
Which is cool. They're the Olsen twinning it up, you know?
Right.
Hopefully it don't end up the same way.
So let's go over all the places everybody can find this show.
What, Netflix?
No.
Oh, our
well,
show?
Stranger
No.
Things is definitely on Netflix, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking about
Our show?
our show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like on YouTube.
comment.
This is
So-
the first one we're actually recording all this on a camera. So if this actually makes it to YouTube altogether, then this is the first one we're doing that to.
Well, and,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We enjoy your comments and questions and concerns,
All of
and give us suggestions. Tell
Right,
us what to
I mean,
watch.
Tell us, dude.
You can let us know. Facebook.com/the Cinemigos. Send us an email. Cinemigos, theCinemigos@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Visit
Comment.
us at the website, which is thecinemigos.podbean.com.
We want to know what you think.
Yeah, I mean
We need ideas.
We need ideas. We need feedback. What we could do better.
No, we really don't need ideas.
We
We just want to know what the
plenty
fuck you
to
think. Yeah.
We just talked about nothing
wanna
for 2
involve
hours. We
you.
don't need much ideas. We
Yeah.
we got
Yeah,
this.
we got plenty of ideas, but feedback is always good. What could we
Feedback.
do? What could we do better? What don't you like? What do you like?
We want to involve you.
Where else?
The YouTube is. We don't know that.
Yeah, we're not sure.
Yet.
The
We'll
YouTube
figure it out.
If you go on YouTube and just search for the Cinemigos, we're
You'll
the
find
first
us.
result.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, we are
Yeah.
first result.
What else? You can.
I'm proud of that, dude.
You can.
I'm proud that you're proud.
You can subscribe to us using your the podcast app on
Podbean.
iOS. If the podcast app on iOS, if you have an iPhone, if you have an Android, you could download the Podbean app.
Podbean app. It works well.
And subscribe to us there. If you like Stitcher, we're on Stitcher.
Mhm.
I
Is
think
there-
that's everywhere
Is
we
there
are
a
right now.
website for Stitcher?
If
or
you
is
want
there is
to
a
on your
website for
mom, it's
Stitcher.
okay.
It's just
You know, no
Stitcher.
big deal.
Stitcher.com. You can search for Cinemigos. You'll find us on Stitcher. Find us on Podbean, the Podbean app, iOS, Facebook.
We're trying to get to you.
Yeah,
we really are.
we
We're
wanna
putting
hear your
ourselves
voice.
out there. We want you to talk back to us so we
Right.
can communicate.
Absolutely.
We like you
Because-
fuckers.
Yeah, we
We
really
need
like
more
this.
people like us.
Yeah, honestly.
We're trying to start our own Upside Down, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.